Hey y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm Liz.
And Carolyn.
And you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Toolizz for you, TOOLIZZFORYOU.
And I'm CPRED on Ravelry, and I post as Knitting in Our Jeans on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I've been rather busy lately.
Yes, you have.
Well, I've been creating all these
You
things.
have.
So, you know, what can I tell you? Sometimes you go to Vogue Knitting Live, and it's, you know, it's nice, and you see your friends, and you see some new things, but sometimes you get a fire lit, and I think I have a fire lit.
Good.
So we'll see how this goes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you finish anything this week?
I did. I finished the hat, and I put...
It's so cute with the big pom-pom on it.
I love it.
I love the
it.
faux fur pom-pom. I think Little Miss will love it.
The hard part will be giving it up.
I know.
To Little Miss. So I'm going to have to find a source of these pom-poms, because I really love them. They're fake pom-poms.
I think Rosalind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyway, there's the hat in our, nevertheless, persistence cable pattern. So all done, and I'm really pleased
And I think
with
the cable patterns are going to be called Nevertheless, and the lace is Persisted, but they
Okay.
all are
Come
from the same code.
Yes.
Just one is cables and one is lace.
Yes, I have to weave in an end.
Ah. Well, you want to see what I finished this week?
I don't know if I talked about this before.
I think you have.
But anyway, this is now done. And
yes,
blocked.
it was being blocked last
It's
week.
blocked.
Or 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
It was fully blocked. This is for her brother. In the color that he requested or his mother requested. We're not sure. My husband swears that his mother just showed him some colors and said, "You're choosing this." Anyway, so his is done, all blocked. And I hope to finish Miss
Chris's.
Yes, Little Miss in the next day or two. I was working on writing the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Finally got the pattern written. We finally got all the videos up, the shorts up for how to do
For the techniques.
for the techniques, mostly cables, and the pattern is being put out for testing. So and being sent to the Lace is putting out for testing. Cables is being sent to the tech editor for tech editing. Mm-hmm. And then I'm gathering up yarn around here for figuring out sweater patterns for both.
Right.
You said you'd be interested in lace.
I said I'd be interested in lace, and the cable one I'd be interested if they go in and out.
I have to work at that.
I'm just saying.
Let's give your mother a hard job.
Hey,
I think it would be pretty.
Have designed.
It would be pretty this way.
Okay.
And I think it would be pretty in and out.
Right.
So I think
I am happy to be a tester for DK weight of any of them.
In and out.
And specifically the inny outy one. And then the lace, but I think the lace would look really nice in a DK weight as well.
I think they'd all look good in DK or fingering. So I think I'm going to first work on the pattern for fingering.
Since that is your preferred.
That's my preferred yarn weight.
Yes.
And size 4 needles are my preferred size needles. Mm-hmm. And once I can figure that out, then I think it's sweater math.
Yeah.
Because then we work up. I think I would go to a size 7 needle.
Okay. Yeah.
With DK.
Yeah.
And we'll make a gauge swatch and do sweater math. And we can
sweater math, and then I can knit up the second one.
Right.
I can knit it up as you're writing it. And we can...
So I think that's what we'll
do.
So anyway, we do have one pattern out for testing. And it's up on Ravelry.
Yes.
You'll put that in the comments,
I will put it in the comments, as well as we'll talk about it in just a minute.
Okay. So anyway, that's all I've done this week. Oh, I have worked on Miss Chris's.
I was saying, what have we finished? Not what are we working on?
I'm sorry. You're right.
May I show off what I have finished?
Please do.
I finished my sweater.
I love it.
So this is the Nebbia, and it is 4 years old. And I am thrilled to have it done.
It's beautiful.
I used all of the purple yarn. I used, I think, a skein and a half of the blue, and I think I used 60 to 70% of the gray.
It's gorgeous. It's
I
absolutely gorgeous.
I love it. I am very happy with it. Honestly, I blocked it, and by that I mean I soaked it in a very large. I soaked it with some soak in a large salad bowl, one about yay big around, because our sink was not clean enough for it, and I didn't feel like taking it all the way to the bathroom.
You have a
the washer was being used.
Clean bathtub.
Yeah, but that was too far away.
She's in an apartment.
We were watching a show at the same time.
Oh, got it.
And so I didn't want to have to pause the show, so I did it in the kitchen, which is right with the living room because we have a combined situation. And so I put it in this large salad bowl and soaked it, and then it took 2 towels worth to squeegee it out.
Okay.
And then I just laid it out. Just laid it out, and it's wonderful.
It really went in nicely.
Well, yeah, and especially because you saw it 2 weeks ago when it was a little bit...
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous.
I'm very pleased. If you are on the fence about knitting this, or you need something that's like an extreme drop shoulder, situation, I really enjoyed it. It's kind of a Swancho situation because it's got the deep sleeves, but it's not a color work thing, so I don't know how exactly that delineation occurs, but it's a very drop sleeve. I mean, this is my mid bicep. And my sleeves are a little bit shorter than they are supposed to be in the pattern, but that was as much of the purple yarn as I had. So that was the determining factor. If I had been able to go another inch or inch and a half, I would have. But other than that, I would highly recommend this pattern. It's
gorgeous.
I mean, yes, it's sport weight on size. I mean, I was on a size 3. So it's a lot of knitting. There are a lot of stitches, but I'm so glad I now own it. I'm so glad I now have to wear it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think once I the sleeves have not been fully blocked, so that's why they're a little funky looking on screen here. But I think it'll be great. But yeah, so I finished this. I also finished a pair of socks, which I did not bring because I've actually worn them already.
Oh.
Because that's just how it goes sometimes.
Oh, aren't they nice?
Socks, yeah.
Yes, those socks.
So those socks that I was knitting on last week, I finished those. So that was very fun. And then I finished picking up these socks, which are like a sport weight sort of sock, and I wasn't sure how much yarn I had left, so I had gotten the first sock through the heel, and I did the first row, or the first 2 rows after the heel.
Okay.
And I decided, because I did not weigh this ball beforehand,
of course not.
because why prepare that much? So what I'm doing is I'm going to knit this sock to that point, and then and then I was going to weigh the ball.
Yes.
So then I can figure out how much I would have. And honestly, at that point, I might just, pull it out to that and cut and be like, we now have the same amount of yarn for both. Just so that it makes it a little bit easier for math and such. So I have that on the needles. I also have another pair of socks in ball form in my bag, just in case I had wanted, or I didn't decide to start this, which of course I decided to, because I don't know, I'm really on a sock kick, and I think that's because I somehow the little elves just keep running off with them, and I don't know if it's they keep running off with them, or they go they hide in the bottom of a basket, or the fact that I still haven't fully unpacked, or
that may be it. Or the wash machine's eating them.
Yeah, or it could be the sock drawer. They're going, to the bottom of in the back.
That could be.
Yeah. So
that could be.
Yeah. So I've got that. So that's what I've been working on.
Stick at.
Yeah.
I like making socks, but
yeah.
I don't have a place to put anymore.
Mm.
You know, I have to get new furniture in order to have room for my socks.
Oh.
Either that or I keep them in the dresser downstairs.
I mean, that is an option.
I could run to the house half dressed.
Hey, I mean, I do the same thing you do. I run across the hall now.
Right.
But yeah, so that's what I've been working on. I have two. So I was able to finish this on the last day of February, on Thursday.
Very nice.
So I did finish it for my February whip.
Okay.
I did not knit anything new in February.
Okay.
In March, that is going to change because a group of friends are knitting this sweater that I'm about to talk about, and I really liked it, and I have yarn that I had tagged for something else, but I wasn't 100% sold on the sweater I had it tagged for, because that sweater was a drop shoulder sweater, and it's a cropped, fitted sweater, and I'm not a big fan of a drop shoulder in general.
In general. No,
in general. This sweater, totally different story, because it's, I don't know if you all can tell, but this is me, this is the sweater. So, this is extremely oversized.
For lounging around it.
Yeah, but I typically don't gravitate, and my drop shoulder sweaters I do have that are fitted, I don't wear.
Right.
So I decided not to make that pattern. I do still have it in my Ravelry library. So if something comes along that screams that it needs to be in it, I will go for it. So instead, what I'm talking about is, this is Lola Bean Yarn Co.
Very pretty.
This is one of her now discontinued colorways. It is a Harry Potter reference. I will not be sharing it, as we do not support J.K. Rowling and views thereof. But it's a beautiful color, and I have it in my stash, so I'm going to use it. And this is going to become a Fittonia sweater, which is predominantly a slip stitch pattern. And I have a bunch of friends who are knitting it and are really loving it, and so I'm very excited. But as I moved, and in the move, I cannot find my Swift and my ball winder, even though I have seen them since the move.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I have seen them, but I now cannot find them for the life of me. So I brought yarn to my mother's house to wind.
Because their ball winder and the Swift are right here.
They're
right here.
So right after we record, I will wind up that yarn so I can swatch.
Actually, you're going to put the quick link to our group so I can find us tomorrow when I'm looking for the test knitters. Okay.
So that is a new thing I'm going to cast on in November.
Very good.
In November.
It's March.
It's March. That was my point. My brain just went, no, it's November. And I'm like, no, you're wrong. It's March.
Well, I'm going to write up the hat pattern.
Okay.
And then, for which I'm learning Adobe Illustrator.
Who would have thought that becoming a pattern designer had you learning so many
3 different
computers?
Yeah. So, then, I think I will work on the lace sweater. So my new cast on in March will be the lace sweater. I'm not working on any whips until I get the sweaters out from the patterns that we're making. Okay. Then I may take a breather. Yeah. Work on some whips. Actually, I have a breathing space from last year, I think, or I don't think I bought it this year. It's Silent Fibers is in it. It's pink and black. Okay. I think it's last year. So I can make another breathing space. That's fine. Yeah. And it's just pink and black, so it'll be fine. Yeah. And I think I bought enough for a dress, but we'll see. Okay. But I do want to get the sweater patterns out, because then that makes the whole vision. Yes. I didn't make a lace hat yet. Okay. Do you think anybody would want a lace hat?
Some people do. I prefer cables or just, I prefer a
Plain.
cable pad.
Yeah, I think I would too because they're warmer. So I may go right from the cable hat back to a lace sweater.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But what you're also doing this month is the test knit of the lace cowl.
Right.
So,
right. But I'm not doing it. The other people are doing it.
But you are coordinating
I'm
it.
coordinating. Well, she's coordinating me, and then I'm coordinating
So,
that.
this is the announcement.
Right.
If you all would like to test knit Mom's Persisted Lace Cowl, it is a lace design based on the phrase, nevertheless, she persisted. And so you can go to our Ravelry page. The link will be down in the doobly-doo. And you can sign up. Please post what size you would like to test. The sizes are intended for 2 to 4, 4 to 8, and then 8 to adult.
This is my usual February.
That is your usual February scarf shawl cowl wearing.
It is. Normally February. Yeah, when I was teaching,
February was still really cold. Yeah.
I'd come out and at 20 degrees, tears automatically start forming and running down my face. I really didn't like February because I was guaranteed a week.
Yep.
That was 20 and below, and I'd come out and my whole face would freeze.
Yep.
We didn't have that this year.
No, we did. We had
a couple days.
We had 3 or 4 in a row, and then it snowed.
Stopped. So anyway, but I do like the lace, and it is encoded.
So, if Ravelry is prohibitive for your use, please reach out on Knitting in Our Jeans on the Instagram.
Yes. And
we can make sure that you get the link to the Google Doc, as well as whatever information you need there. We're hosting it on Ravelry just because it is easier for Mom to have one place to check. But the pattern is hosted on Google Docs for this.
Right.
So just let us know.
I'll check Instagram every day.
Yeah, you'll check Instagram and also the Ravelry group. Yeah. So you'll see that, and I'll put the link down below.
I really messed up my hair again.
Aw. So yeah. So on to then, I guess. So we all know my like knitting / crafting. What is that called? Resolution for this year is to complete a WIP every month.
Yes, because you have a few.
I have a number of them. So I think this month I would really love to finish the cross stitch piece for my friend's little sister who just became a new mom. And I think that would be great to send off. I would also like to finish the Earth and Air brioche sweater.
Yes.
Which I like, and having now knit on it a few times, I'm not sure I'm in love with anymore, but I think it needs to be finished and at least photographed. And then we can determine, because someone will love it. Yes. So it might get donated, which is also perfectly acceptable. So that's Earth and Air. And then, in my unpacking, I found because for some reason, this sweater got thrown into my desk, the foom bag of desk stuff that you foomed, and so I don't know how this sweater got in there.
I have no idea. It was obviously on your desk.
Or near it. So this is the poetry that I knit not last year, the year before, I think, or beginning of last year, that needs sleeves. So I need to figure that out, and it's just beautiful. And I really would like to wear it. Unfortunately, the sleeves are in the lace pattern, so that's just going to make life slightly more difficult. But I think we can pick it back up. As Mom said right before we started recording, well, yeah, you should finish it. It's a beautiful sweater. And I was like, yeah, I know.
It absolutely is.
And I think it'd be great. It'll be great almost all the time.
That's right.
I mean, maybe not almost all the time. It is alpaca.
Not midsummer.
But yeah.
But let's face it, other than that, it'll be great.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing with these patterns that I'm working on. I want to also make them in a cotton blend. Probably cotton with some nylon to give it some staying power. Because one of the things that's wrong with the other dress is the wool pulls. And we know cotton will stretch like that too.
Yeah.
So if I can get cotton, wool, linen, or not linen, nylon, that will at least hold it in place. So, because one of the people I was talking with on Gosadi, she's from Louisiana, and she says everything's in a wool, and it's too hot. Whereas the lace would be really good to do in some kind of cotton nylon blend.
We could, and especially if you make that again in the small human to adult human sizes, we have a little one down in Louisiana who I bet
that's right
would be adorable in a little lace dress.
Yes.
I mean, I'd just make the sweater longer. It'd be a tunic, but you know.
Tunic. Yes. Yeah, well, my plan is to try to do the sweaters so that they're multi-sizes like that. That's one of the things.
Kind of like tin can knits.
Yes. 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 But I'm also hoping to have coded messages in the patterns that I create. So they may look like someone else's lace or whatever, but I can tell you that each one of these has come from a coded message. So I can also see making a pattern of "I love you dearly" for a little kid sweater.
Okay.
You know, or one for your husband, or one for your wife, or one for whoever you love dearly. I think that would be a really wonderful coded message to have. And then rest is for the tired. No, tired is for the weak.
Oh, the Brunson quote. I don't know.
One tired is for the weak. There's a professional basketball player,
Jalen Brunson,
whose father.
Jalen Brunson, who is a player for the New York Knicks, who was a former Villanova player. So that is why you and Dad were listening to the
game.
To the game.
But that's not where we read this.
But you pay attention because of the Villanova connection.
But I think we saw it in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Because I think he was highlighted recently in our local newspaper. And his father was playing basketball with him or training him when he was 11, 12 years old. He was young.
Yeah.
And he says, "Dad, I'm really tired." And his dad goes, "Tired is for the weak. Keep moving."
And his father is Rick Brunson, who also played for the NBA. So
it was really funny.
Yes.
So I could see, various mottos like that being coded into lace patterns and cable patterns. And then you make up the cowl, the sweater, the hat. And then, I think it's really cool to have a hidden message within. But that's me. So we'll see if anybody else gets excited about this. So if you're interested, see about the cowl.
Yes. But other than that, I'm knitting away on my sock. I am traveling next weekend, so I'm thinking I will get a whole bunch of knitting done, at least during the active travel time, during the plane flights. And then it's Palm Sunday. And then it's St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
And then it's Palm Sunday, and then it's Easter.
I've already volunteered to read at Maundy Thursday and Easter Vigil. So, Richard is somewhat behaving himself.
Oh, yes, we haven't seen you all in 2 weeks. My father's knee replacement went well.
Yes.
It has been replaced.
Yes.
And it is currently having good, is it flexibility, bending, what are we?
He's running around the house.
He's a menace.
He doesn't have feeling in that leg. He's got peripheral neuropathy, and he has no feeling in that leg, or very little feeling in that leg.
Mm-hmm.
What he does get is the sharp, lightning shooting pains.
Which is, I think, what people sometimes refer to as, like, phantom limb pain. But he hasn't lost the limb.
Right.
Yeah.
He still has a limb, but he has phantom pain. And anyway, but he also, there's numbness. So he is running around the house without his walker, without his cane.
That was only a dinner tonight.
Yes. I wasn't
Today
up.
he behaved himself.
I wasn't up when he went to get the newspaper outside. Yesterday, they said, oh, you can go for a walk outside, just don't overdo it. So I have no idea what he did to go get the newspaper. It's only been a week since surgery.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's doing just fine.
I noticed the dressing was off of it, so...
Well, that came off on Friday. That
was
supposed to come off on Friday. We took it off on Friday. He does have a blister. We don't know why he got the blister, but he has a blister that we are babying because the man got MRSA down in the Caribbean, 5 years ago?
Something like that.
From a pop blister.
Yeah.
So we're hoping
that it just
will reabsorb.
Yeah.
And if it pops, well, then we'll take care of it. Yes, I've ordered bacitracin and Neosporin.
Good.
So we should be, we're getting prepared for that. But he has no pain. He is taking high levels of anti-inflammatory, according to what he's been prescribed. So but he's not taking any of the real painkillers, like the oxycodone. In fact, he took those for only 2 days and then was off of that. So he's doing really well, but one of the reasons
he's a menace.
I'm staying home pretty much this coming week is to make sure he does use the cane and or the walker. Because left to his own devices, he'll walk around the house by himself, and it's too early for the knee implantation. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he's doing physical therapy at home. He's like a champ with the physical therapy because he can't feel what he's doing. Anyway, I'm really thrilled that he's doing so well. We are thrilled that he's doing so well.
But he is also a menace.
Yes.
But he is our menace whom we love dearly.
He is our menace, yes. He's our menace, is right. Absolutely.
But yeah.
So anything else? What?
For those of you who know us offline, you know that our church choir is very important to us. Our music director passed at the beginning of this year, and his memorial service was today.
Yes.
And I'm not going to put the link in the bio down below, but if you search St. Stephen's Episcopal Church, Fort Washington, and you look up Mark Venchenkoff's memorial service,
or it's on live.
Or it should be videos. One of the most recent videos. It's 3 hours of phenomenal music.
It is.
It is an Episcopal memorial service, so do take that into account. If you do not want to watch that, skip through for the music parts. The music is
there's music all over.
There's a prelude. There are multiple preludes. There's service music. There's an anthem. Then there's a beautiful tribute from his high school students and the postludes, and all of the organ music you will hear in that recording is played by him and recorded onto our church organ.
It was amazing.
I just wanted, if you enjoy classical, kind of music, look it up. It
will transport you. It really will.
It was an honor to have been able to be a part of that choir. And I'm trying really hard not to cry again, because I cried all morning.
Yeah, I couldn't go because I didn't want to leave Richard alone. I think that would have been poor decision on my part.
Yeah.
And really, the people that were getting it together wanted to know 3 weeks ago. And 3 weeks ago, I had no idea how he was doing. I watched it live, made it up through to the hymn before the sermon, before I started sobbing. There's a few hymns that when I sing them, or when we sang them as a choir, just grabbed me by the gut and just wrenched it out. 2 of them they sang today.
Yeah.
So, and I was sitting there thinking of one of the women who was in our choir and has since died. She would be sitting across from me in the soprano section, and she would start.
Yeah.
Then I would go.
Yeah.
And it's just the music that grabs you.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is a stunning service if you would all are interested.
I just wanted to point it out because again, it was an honor to be able to be part of the choir, and it will forever be one of the best musical moments of my life.
This man was so good. I don't have a great voice, but while he was leading the choir, he encouraged me to sing, and did almost anything that he could to encourage our singing. He was lovely, and so we were blessed. We were absolutely blessed, and he was a gift. So before we get worse,
Yeah, exactly.
we're going to weave in those ends. We won't see you next week unless I put up a short. It depends on what I get done this week.
Okay.
I think I'm well, who knows? If I can finish Miss Pris's cowl and get that together, write the hat pattern, then I could start the lace sweater. And I'm looking around, I'm thinking that gray up there would be pretty in the lace.
This or this?
Try that. Oh, what is that?
That is Tina's Toasty Toes.
Oh, that looks interesting. The sparkly one would be interesting too.
That's Bad Sheep.
Yeah, I think it would be better in a single color.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking this in a lace. It's almost like silver. It's
Yeah.
platinum and gold. So
It's slightly variegated.
Very slightly variegated.
Oh well, and it's shimmery because it's got silk. It's superwash silk and yak. That's the sheen.
So I think that this would be really pretty in the lace pattern. So
Yeah.
if I make any headway in that, if not, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
All
right.
right.
Then.
We'll weave in those ends.
Talk
Bye.
to y'all later.